We've all heard the pandemic perks of working remotely, but what about the work from home worries? Well, joining us now to discuss these concerns is career coach and founder of Work It Daily, J.T. O'Donnell. Welcome back to the show, J.T.
Thank you for having me.
J.T., is work from home going away or is it here to stay?
Companies have heard that you want to work from home. In fact, job postings are up by 97% of work from home opportunities. So they're listening. But with that, it's going to mean they're going to have to restructure their businesses in order to support that. So if you think about it, we're probably going to see some layoffs. And we're also going to see them potentially change jobs and roles in order to fix the compensation. So you might see reduction in compensation because of all the savings that you're getting by working from home. And you may even see some benefit structures change. So you're going to have to weigh out for yourself whether or not the value and the perks of working from home are good enough to offset some of the changes that are going to be coming.
Well, you can't get around those perks. I mean, we know that so many pluses, flexibility with time. You don't have to commute here in LA. You can avoid the freeway. And if you can avoid the freeway in LA, that's a big perk. And just so many reasons you're at home, you can be getting other things done, etc. So JT, there's a new thing that we're starting to hear, and that's what people call proximity bias in the workplace. So explain to us what proximity bias is and how it's affecting remote workers, and should they be concerned?
They should be very concerned. So proximity bias has to do with how close you are to the organization. Are you in the office? Are you right down the hall from your boss? Are you where all the important decisions are being made? There is this phrase we've heard, out of sight, out of mind, and it really does impact your career. And studies show 60% of people are actually worried about this, the work from home folks, and they should be. Because if you're not there, all of a sudden, somebody could sit around one day and say, what does Mary do from home? And how is she creating value for the organization? And this is exactly what we mean when we say that proximity bias could cost you your job if you're working from home.
JT, on the flip side, how can employers prevent an equality gap from happening in the first place?
100%, because if they're offering these remote positions, you would think that they would do what they can to make sure that people feel included. And I think you're going to see a lot of companies put together proactive measures. Maybe their bosses are all meeting with you 15 minutes a week in a Zoom meeting, or they're saying pair up and make sure that you spend time with people. There will definitely be smart companies that build out these programs to ensure that proximity bias doesn't impact your career. But that being said, there's going to be lots of other businesses that don't do that. And so I always tell people, think of yourself not as an employee, but as a business of one. You're the service provider, your employer is the customer. So you want to proactively do this. You can set meetings with your boss, ask how frequently you can meet so that you can stay in touch. You can also be proactive and meet with other people in your organization. Don't leave it up to your company to solve the proximity bias issue.
You know, as an employee, you want to make sure that you stand out, but how do you position yourself and stand out if you're working from home? It's a little bit of a challenge.
So here's what I tell you to do. Sit down and make a list of all the activities that you do, and then attach how many hours you spend on each activity. So you should be able to tally up your entire work week and break it down by task. Then I want you to step back and say, how do these tasks save or make the company money? Because here's the thing, they can't keep you employed if you aren't at least making them enough money to justify the cost of you. And it's not just your salary. Remember, those benefits and those other things cost your company a lot of money. So if you can, on a quarterly basis, sit down with your manager and say, here's all the work that I'm doing and how many hours a week it takes me, and here's how I believe it's saving or making the company money. Am I on track? Am I creating the value that you need me to create so that I can keep this position? Is there anything you want me to change or enhance or do? And when you have that open dialogue, now you are regularly reminding them that you are contributing and showing them how you're spending the time. So they're not wondering, is Mary off folding her laundry instead of doing that really important work? And if you do that, you're going to make sure that you can keep your job, and candidly, also set yourself up for a promotion, because a lot of us got a lot more efficient working from home. So this can be the chance to show them just how much more you're doing as a result.
I like that. As always, JT, great information, and I'm sure we'll hear from you soon.
Thank you, Dr. Warden.